Now, our theme this term is in wonder. We're exploring who is God and what does it mean to be in wonder of Him. I want us to do a story this week, which is taking us way back. You see, it started off with this donkey. See, he always thought he was born for something special, something more than just being a pack horse to carry people's luggage. And then he was bought by this nice guy. He was a builder. And he had to take a journey. So he managed to save up and pay enough money for this nice young donkey who was strong and able to take a long journey. Because you see, his wife was heavily pregnant. And they had a long journey ahead of them. This donkey was proud. His name was Guss. Now, Guss, he's a young guy. For a donkey, he was known as in his prime and only getting stronger. So he thought, this isn't a bad gig. This is pretty good. Yep, I can do this. It's a simple job. No worries. This guy's nice. I get a carrot occasionally. This is good. And so he starts walking along, and it got a long journey. And the husband and the wife, they were very kind to the donkey. They would look after it, they'd make sure they had a little bit of hay, and they'd make a nice little bed for it every night. The donkey would curl up, and he'd just think and dream about the grandeur of the jobs that he would have, because he knew he was special. And he wanted to do something amazing. Not just be a donkey that does the normal ploughing jobs or the normal from the farm to the town gigs. He wanted to be something amazing and something special. And he thought he had it because he knew that the wife was about to have a baby. And so as the donkey carried away, Guss was walking there strong, making sure that the path wasn't easy. But he got them there. And they had to stay there for a while. The baby was born in of all places, a stable. But there were other animals there, and they knew something was special. They knew that there was something amazing about this baby. So Guss thought, I am the donkey that carried this special baby. How awesome is that? And eventually what happened is the family had to run away, and they couldn't take Guss with them. They had to move fast. So he was sold by the carpenter Joseph to another person who said to take good care of him. They'll look after him. They liked a good donkey. He's a special donkey. And the husband and the wife got Guss, and they ruffled his ears. He loved a good ear scratch just behind the ears. He went, as only donkeys can do. And as they patted his ears, the wife had some tears. She was holding the newborn baby who was waving at it. Donkey knew, well, it was so sad to see them go. But I am destined for something special. And he was excited the next day. He assumed, right, this person, what's my new job? Am I going to be carrying gold? Am I going to be carrying royalty? What am I going to be doing? Then the door of the pen opened, and in stood what he thought was his owner, but it wasn't him, it was someone else. Oh yeah? Hello, come on, donkey. He threw a rope and tied it up tight around its neck and pulled him out. Guss was like, what are you doing? Good at you. Oh, come on. I want less money for this thing. He won't move. And the person pulled out a stick and hit him on his back. Guss was shocked. He's never been hit before. What is this? What? And he was pulled out and carried to a farm. He thought, what's going on? And his job was to carry grain from the farm to the market and then bring back water. And it was hard work. But Guss he's a strong donkey, and he would walk along. And he thought, I'll have some water. But they wouldn't let him stop for water. They wouldn't feed him extra, only just enough to give him energy. So Guss, being a very young donkey, wondered if it was going to get better, because he thought, I'm destined for more than this. I'm a donkey who's strong. I'm a donkey who carried this. Everyone's talking about this amazing baby. What am I doing here? It got so bad And the people who owned him got so mean. Every night, Guss would collapse, not on hay. They wouldn't give him hay. He'd collapse onto the dirt floor, sigh, and tears would come down his donkey face. He'd cry. And he'd cry because he thought, I always thought I was destined for more than this. Like, more than just being a donkey that would be carried away with having to back-breaking grains of sand. They load me up so heavy. And he would think back to the carpenter and his wife and how kind they were and how it had been so long since someone had walked up to him and said, good job, or you're a good boy. And thanks, Guss. The most he got touched from his owners was a bit of bamboo, a stick to make him move faster when it was uphill and it was hard. But Guss would keep going. Didn't have any other option. He had to do it. Many years passed. Every night, the same thing. Guss would cry, tears falling down his beautiful donkey face. His big ears would drop down. And he would think, why? I thought I was going to do something bigger than just this. It's got to be more than just carrying grain or water back. My back is getting so sore. Because as he got older, it got harder and harder. Getting up the hill to the house where they had to drop the stuff off was getting really, really hard. And coming into Jerusalem to the markets, well, that was almost, the owners, the guy who was pulling him along, almost had to push him. And his back was getting sore and sorer from the weight and being hit to be made to move. And eventually it got to a point where the owner was like fed up. I'm sick of this donkey. He tied him up. I had to push him up the whole way. He's getting old. I don't think I could get any money for him. If someone said they need him, I'm just going to let him have it. I'm sick of this useless donkey. Good for nothing. Nothing but a sack of fleas and dust. Useless. And he walked into the bar. Guss stood there. It was a particularly hard day. He could feel his knees. His back was so sore from years and days of carrying too much grain and water. He just looked at it and he thought, well, I was wrong. I thought it was special. Then he noticed something. Two guys come up. They laughed. I thought they were laughing at me. And he heard one of them say, it's just like he said. Why do we ever think he's weird and get stuff wrong? My goodness. Oh, well, let's try this. And they start untying him. And he's like, oh, great, I'm being stolen. I barely got here. And then his owner came out and looked, what are you two doing? And they just looked at him and said, oh, the Lord needs him. The Lord needs the donkey? Oh, whatever, have him, he's useless. Good luck, he's nothing but a bare sack full of fleas and dust. Good luck to him do any work. And went back in. Guss was like, the Lord? Oh, great. I finally get to be near a noble, someone who's a royalty. And I look like this. I'm all dusty. I've got fleas. And my back is raw from all this thing. And I've got to carry, oh my gosh. And the two guys, they carried him down. And they got to a place just outside. There's a group of people around. And they came up and said, Lord, it's just like he said. And this man walked up to Guss. Guss had never seen anything like it. And he was there. And the person said, well, I told you guys. And all of a sudden, Guss felt something he hadn't in years. A hand went between his ears and gave him a scratch and a rub. He looked up. He recognized those eyes. He couldn't think where. It must have been a long time ago. But there were kindness and love. And he looked at him and he said, "This one's truly special." As he stroked his ears. I don't know if you've seen a donkey before, but they've got big ears. There's a lot of stroking there. And they put some blankets over them. They gave him a good dust and a bit of a wash down. Gus thought he was like having a full manicure. He's like, "This is great. Oh yeah. Oh." And one of them starts scratching behind his ear. Now, I don't even know what it's like with the dog. You scratch a particular point of their tummy, but he was like... And they laughed and they gave him a good wash and they put blankets over him. And then the guy that he recognised those eyes, he couldn't think where though, hopped up on him. He said, "Right, buddy, let's go." And he starts walking in. I don't know what it was, he thought. I feel like a young donkey again. Woohoo! He starts walking in. And then he noticed there's a crowd of people. He thought, "Oh, this is going to be really tricky." But they started making way, and people were throwing branches and blankets down for him. He's like, "Well, what is this?" And he heard, "Hosanna! Hosanna to the King!" What is this? And he realised, I'm carrying a king? Am I carrying the king? And he started strutting. "Yes, I'm carrying the king." And people were yelling out, praising God. They were holding up palm trees and putting them down so Gus could walk over them. He thought, I'm special. I'm carrying the king. This is amazing. This is just, I can't believe it. And he got back in and he walked this special person into the city. But of course, a week later, it's a different procession. But that's the story for next week. So just remember, you are special. You are loved by God. You are His child. Just like Gus.